coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the Houston Texans and the Dallas Cowboys. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25.
Ready.
Mills looking to the air right away. And his first look is incomplete.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now the rookie 4th-round pick. This is Dameon Pierce. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Play action now, Mills. They'll roll him out right. And this one is incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Handoff right side to Pierce. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were excellent a week ago in that victory over Indianapolis.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. And he powers through the first lane, but he's going to be swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage.
The job of any linebacker involves having enough strength to fight off a blocker and get into ball carriers. But in this case, I think we can safely say he beat him right off the snap to get into the backfield and make that play.
On 2nd down, here's Pierce. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3.
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
The kick by Fairbairn is good, and it's now 3-0 Texans. And all in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well. So your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Catch is made. It's Schultz on the out route. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
The Texans here on third down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. Looking to throw. Prescott. Swinging this out for Pollard. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. The Cowboys at 7-5 now in the year. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
He was brought down by Malik Collins.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Throwing. Prescott. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Prescott now. Pass to Tony Pollard out of the backfield. Touchdown, Cowboys! I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And the top speed he attained there, according to Next Gen Stats, 21.3 miles per hour. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. fake. Mills. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And these two teams, if you look back to 2021, quite a disparity between these two Lone Star State offenses. Last season, the Cowboys #1 in the league in terms of total yardage, and meanwhile, the Texans, we know about all the struggles that they had. They came in.
He's got him in, complete. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. It's a gain of 35.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10.
1st and 10, it's Pierce.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
They go play action. Mills.
And he can't escape, and down he goes. Micah Parsons able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Now that's a heck of a moment for your first sack of the game, because if this long drive ends without a touchdown because of that sack, we're going to look back and say that might be one of the biggest plays of this contest.
So now after the sack, Mills and the Texans needing to navigate a 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
To Pierce, they set up the screen.
And he is going to lose yardage here. So they'll wind up losing 7 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
The whole idea of the screen pass is to fool the defense in a big way and create a big play.
They weren't fooled.
Not 1 second, not one bit. How about them figuring it out, diagnosing it, and spilling it for lost yardage?
This is taken at the 18. And he'll be out right at the 35. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation, because...
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown.
I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And they are back down to the 500 mark after 2 straight losses. And, Charles, this is a team that, to be frank, their play has really dropped off the last couple of weeks.
And, Brandon, I think there's a sense around the building that they can't let this losing streak get any worse than it is. Because if they were to lose here and fall below 500, then you're playing catch-up the rest of the way. They've got to take a stand and make it stop right now.
And it'll take this up to the 30, a gain of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now, because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield. But as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out into open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a first down. And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
On play action, Mills.
And his throw is going to be incomplete. Fair to say, it hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
On third down, here's Mills.
And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
On is the punter, Johnston now, as he sends this one away.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And that last throw is going to keep him climbing that all-time passing yards leaderboard as he crosses the 25,000-yard mark now for his career.
He just recently passed Bart Starr. Next up for him, Bob Greasy. That's 2 Hall of Famers, 2 Super Bowl winners, multiple Super Bowl winners. So he's getting up with the legends now. Congratulations.
And a missed tackle there as he pushes forward for a gain of 4.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Off the play fake, Prescott. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 44-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. They'll go with Pollard here on first down.
Yeah, good work there in open space. He's got this all the way down now to the 32.
That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle, feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
Now, that's a play to applaud because these RPOs, things happen so quickly. And that ball's out of the quarterback's hands fast. He read it and reacted and was there to hit him as the ball arrived at the receiver. Big-time read, big-time play.
Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Now Prescott. They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Texans are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. He has just been a load for opposing offenses to account for. Now 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take them in all the alleys, right? They range deep and make a whole lot of great catches.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
On 1st and 10, Mills. That's complete to Tyler Johnson.
Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Off the play fake, Mills.
He's letting it fly for Cooks. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Mills.
He's letting it fly for Cooks. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Houston. Brandon Cooks. Halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50.
And the Texans get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that makes it a 14-10 ball game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Taking it about the 1. And able to get this out to the 25.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. I have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Not wanting to take a chance this time. They'll keep it on the ground.
And not much happening there as he'll get it back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. One more time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's going to be brought down short of the 1st at about the 31-yard line. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3.
And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead now, a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it is really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do...
Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up, loose football. And the Texans scoop it. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
So we thought maybe they would have a chance to extend this lead on the opening drive of the second half. Instead, they cough it up.
Obviously not an ideal start when you're trying to get a little separation, and I can guarantee that they talked about that in the locker room. Let's get out there, start this quarter the right way. Let's try and put some points on the board and create some space.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
Micah Parsons, the linebacker, in on the tackle.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams would take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable second down.
And Pierce gets it again on second down.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They give him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Fairbairn able to put this one through. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13.
Well, certainly happy they were able to force the fumble, Charles, but wish they would have gotten in the end zone, only getting 3 points there and still facing this second half deficit.
And they also will understand it's going to be a whole lot tougher to force another turnover the rest of the game because that offense, they're going to be all about ball security from here on out.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Prescott. Looking deep for Elliott. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Prescott. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. they've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well.
Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though.
Pierce will try to pick it up.
And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. It's a gain of 9 yards, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
That looked great when he first took off because, in my mind, there was room to run, and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
So that a 2nd drive ending at a field goal now here in the 3rd.
Yeah, the first one got him closer, and this one gets him the lead, but I don't think they should fall in love with kicking field goals. They're going to need to put the ball in the end zone if they want to finish off this game with a win.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, John.
And he loses the football a 2nd time. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well. 2nd time he's fumbled in this game. Fortunate for him, this one goes out of bounds.
And the key for him now is how much equity have you built up with your coaching staff? How much equity have you built up with your team to continue to get opportunities? Fortunate that one went out of bounds, saved him from a turnover.
Prescott on play action. Able to hit his target, Lamb. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Prescott and Lamb hooking up for the Cowboy first. Charles, to move the chains that time, they had to complete it into double coverage, and they got it done.
And it's never easy overcoming multiple defenders, but he sure made it look simple. Found the right spot to exploit and won his one-on-two matchup.
Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the lot. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Desmond King picks it. And the Texans are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. 59 yards rushing for him now as his fine rookie season continues.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And they'll be stopped at the 28 on a play that started at the 14. They pick up 14. 3 quarters in the books. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. A 1st down throw for Mills. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Brevin Jordan, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Texans will add to their 4th quarter lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that makes this a 9-point game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
From the 27, Prescott. He finds his target. It's Schultz. So 8 yards on the completion there. And 3rd and 1 now.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end. Take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Trying to run for it with Pollard. And this is going to be a Cowboys 1st down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held him to no gain.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10.
Good. 46.
Here's Prescott. And he's going to be intercepted a third time.
Derek Stingley picks it, and the Texans are going to take possession of the football. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection, and now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
Drop for a loss there on a nice effort by Osa Odighizuwa.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Mills to throw it.
And Sanders has got it complete. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Cameron Johnston now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. Yards. Well done on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive. And in a relatively... Oh, Prescott stripped, and the Texans scoop it. How did he stay on his feet? And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that, and that's what they've done all game long.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
106 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Now Prescott. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Steven Nelson. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. Well, we knew this was going to be a tall order anyway, down 2 scores with this little time remaining. But that interception puts it in to any hopes that they had.
All right, partner, work with me here because obviously scoring a touchdown, getting the onside kick, then going down, scoring again. Well, that's asking a lot, isn't it? And that's really not a great expectation to begin with. I think they'll look back on this game and see what got them in this spot in the first place and say to themselves, we really gave this game away.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down.
5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves them with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
On 3rd down, here's Pierce.
And he's going to be met at about the 43. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, that second half, Charles, a little bit different from the first. Not only did we have the lead change after intermission, but they were able to pitch the shutout in the second half and get an impressive victory.
And what's the old expression? That's not quite how I saw it playing out in my head. You know they didn't expect this at all. As you mentioned, went into the half with the lead. Losing the game is one thing. Getting shut out in the second half, that's a surprise.
So for Houston, they move back over 500 at 7-6. And they'll return home next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they can ill afford to drop too many more as they fall to 7-6 on the year. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville.